Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2018 reading. I hope that this video is finding you well and that if you are watching this after the holidays that you had a great holiday season, and if you're watching these as I'm posting them, then I hope that your holidays are awesome. I also hope that you're feeling lighter because Saturn has moved out of your sign. And it could have been like a weird juxtaposition of energies with the sun just there, but Saturn also still there, making its final little loop-de-loop. So I hope you guys, if you haven't already, or if you don't already, begin to feel a little bit more light and happy and free and awesome. So I'm going to go right into it. 3-card spread. What are the messages for Sagittarius? Sagittarius. And let me do it one more. Alright, let's see what we have. Okay, so definitely if you don't feel light and better already, it's coming for you. So let me show you what we have. Oh my god, I'm just messing everything up. Okay. I'm also just gonna, there we go. So we have coming up, you coming into this reading and you coming into January with the sun, which is so apropos because it was just your birthday. And then we have the Nine of Cups for the current position, and then the King of Cups for the eventual outcome. What this is saying to me is that you are coming into 2018 with this lovely sunny energy. Now, of course, it's apropos because you just had the sun in your sign for the last 30 days or so. So happy belated birthday. If I didn't say that in my last video. So you could be feeling this kind of ego boost when the sun is around. The sun sign is always what is the container for the ego. So you could be feeling like this ego boost. You can feel like everything is going not perfectly, but it's going good around you. You're contented. And, you know, whenever the sun shows up in a tarot reading, it's this thing that shines the brightest. So what is shining bright for you right now is making you feel warm. It's making you feel comforted. I think to the picture in the sign of this young child riding bareback on a horse, and he's also naked. This is just being free of constraint, being free of worry, a little bit being free of judgment, and just appearing under the sun in your birthday suit as you are and how you are, and not really feeling judged, not really feeling constrained in a way. So you're feeling a little bit more free as you're entering January 2018. And then we have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups it's a card of contentment, so it fits perfectly here with the sun. And we know when cups show up in the reading, for these more introspective January readings, as they all have been, it speaks to some type of emotional fulfillment that you have been able to achieve. It speaks to some type of steadiness in your emotional life, some type of coming together of elements of your psyche. So you are thinking more positively, you're vibrating this sun energy, and that is attracting to you more and more reasons to feel contented, more and more reasons to feel happy. But the thing about the Nine of Cups and the sun in this reading, the sun is it's very giving of itself. It's a very giving energy source. You know, every time we wake up, we know that the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west, and we don't have to worry that it's not going to be there. And same with the Nine of Cups. It's this card of hospitality. It's this card of giving as you are receiving. So the message for you here, Sagittarius, especially as we're ending up with the King of Cups, which is gentleness. It's emotional maturity. It is, you know, being on these troubled waters perhaps in November, maybe a little bit in 2017. Maybe we're doing like a 2017 reflective here. So it's kind of like seeing the troubled waters, understanding that there are issues, and then just remaining unbothered like the King of Cups, who is finding his steadiness through the tumultuous waves. But to get back to my other point is, you know, make sure you are paying this feeling forward, especially to some signs that may not be having as easy as a time, you know, and as Saturn has left Sagittarius, where it was since 2015, you could be feeling the sun, you could be feeling Nine of Cups, you could be feeling King of Cups, and Saturn really puts you through, and Saturn's one of the most important planets, and that's why it's the planet that I will be talking about, but it really puts you through these trials and tribulations, and I have no telling how difficult the last few years for you could have been, but certainly you are starting 2018, if not already feeling optimistic, then knowing that there is a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of optimism, a glimmer of brighter times on the way, and if you do not feel that for yourself now, I am telling you that is what is on the way. But then be mindful to, Sagittarians are very giving, and you guys are ruled by Jupiter. You guys do those things anyway. I'm not surprised that you guys could be sharing this wealth of emotional happiness, paying it forward, and, paying a compliment to a friend, all these things that you could just do something to make someone else feel better as you are starting to feel better. So let's pull some clarifying cards to see if we can get any more details out of this. What are some clarifying messages for Sagittarius? Interesting. All right, so everything's now without its burdens, but we'll get into it. We'll make sure that we end on a happy note. So we have clarifying the sun, the Hierophant, and what this means to me was that it doesn't surprise me. You could have been going within 2017, a recent past that makes sense for you. Just the last few years in general. Let's just say that. The Hierophant rules structure and rules. It rules being a part of large groups, large communities. It rules looking to someone for leadership and getting that type of guidance. It also rules going within, things like the Bible, things like structure and marriage and all these things. So with the sun shining on the Hierophant, it's kind of two opposing energies, because the Hierophant is a bit more humble, a bit more reserved and pulled back. So when the sun is clarifying the Hierophant, it shows me that you are coming into 2018 feeling this new wave of hope and optimism because of the inner work that was done. And the inner work that was done perhaps leaned heavily on spirituality, perhaps leaned heavily on some type of text and quotes. The Hierophant rules scripture and all that, but it doesn't have to be literal scripture. Anything that you may have gone to continue to feel better. And that's something that the universe is telling me that you need to keep doing. I know that it's coming up in the past position, but it's a theme that everyone should keep doing, especially in 2018. There could be a momentary lift as Saturn has left your sign, but that does not mean that it's done for you, because wherever Saturn is always affecting everyone all the time, so it's moving into a different house for you now. So it doesn't mean difficulties are over. It may just be a reprieve, and the reason I say that is because we have the Five of Pentacles clarifying the Nine of Cups, and these are almost two completely clashing energies, kind of like how these were two clashing energies. So this is kind of saying to me that Sagittarians right now are having a hard time balancing the bright side, balancing what I've been through, the strength that you've been able to procure, the happiness and the relief that you might feel with the trauma of the past, with the memories of having gone through hard times, with memories of difficulty. And so with the Nine of Cups, with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is being in grief, feeling shut out, and it's so apropos because, this is a type of church window. It kind of looks like stained glass, and we were speaking about how the Hierophant ruled those type of church type things and communities and stuff. So there's a type of disappointment and sadness that is revolving around your inner structure, your inner life. You might not feel totally relieved. You might not feel totally out of the woods yet. You feel a little bit remnants of this type of energy. I don't think that this is coming up strong because, as I said, when the sun is ever in a reading, it shines over everything. So when the sun is shining over this, it's like these are casting very long shadows. These are casting, like they say, like worrying about something is giving a small thing a large shadow. So this is really appearing to me like this is something that is emotionally that you have to get over. I don't think that hard times are currently happening. I think that the memory is long. And then when you have the Nine of Cups here, it's kind of like, remember what you have learned. Remember that you have amassed all these cups. Remember that you have so much that you even have to share, and your cuppeth runneth over. And don't let these thoughts of the past, thoughts of the disappointment kind of overshadow how far you actually have come. And then we have, clarifying the King of Cups, the 10 of Wands, okay? And so the 10 always represents a conclusion to a journey. And no doubt you have concluded a journey. I don't know how many times you want me to say it. Saturn is finally done with your sign, and it won't be there for another 30 years. So you have completed a journey, but it was not without its difficulties. We know that, right? The 10 of Wands speaks to the burden of success. It speaks to getting to a place in your life, feeling that strength, feeling that happiness, feeling that warm, sunshiny feeling, feeling that emotional resolve that the Knight of Cups would have us feel, but feeling a little bit still unsteady in it. Who you have become, the beautiful person that you have become through your struggles, feels a little bit alien to you. It feels like this can sneak back up on you. It feels like, oh, I have to keep relying on this guy. And it could be a little bit unnerving to say, well, no, I got it from here. And I think you do have it from here. It's just going to seem difficult. It's going to appear difficult. The burden of success, the burden of having gone through those hard times, the burden of knowing where you used to be and hoping to God that you don't end up there again. But again, like for all of these readings, it's deeply introspective. This is what is going on in your mind. This is something that I and the universe would have you marinate on. And then to clarify and continue, the sun is overshadowing everything. So those moments of warmth, of happiness, of optimism, that is ultimately what is real. These moments may come up, and memories of this may come up, and the structure and the restriction of the Hierophant, which is almost the personification of Saturn, will come up, and you will feel teased and pulled in different directions. Like, am I actually into this new person? Am I actually out of the woods, like I said before? And the sun says yes. I'm going to pull one more clarifying card here at the end, just to see. Okay, so we pulled the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords, let's take a look, is that card of repose. And it's perfect because it is the soldier who has come back from battle, who is resting, who has not died. So you have not died to your battles, not literally, but you haven't, you're still here, right? You survived. And he's going over his strategy. He's going over the battles that were fought, the war, and he's thinking about how I can do it differently, how I can go back out and fight in a way that is, change the strategy and all these things. So the Four of Swords coming up as an indication to you that January is a lot of reflection. What has Saturn taught you in the past few 2.5 years? What struggles are you still dealing with? What do you need to just kind of contemplate and have introspective time about? And then there's the Four of Swords, and just the swords ruling the mental sphere and the thoughts that you were thinking. What mental work, what is that one thing that is still keeping you behind? What is a thought pattern you can change? What is a habit that you can change? But moreover, the Four of Swords is telling me to tell you to please rest. Know that the sun is real. Know that the Nine of Cups is real, and that, the sun is casting shadows on these things, and it makes them seem huge. But in reality, they are small, and your true state of mind and your true reward and the true karma that is coming for you is the Nine of Cups and is the sun. So that is what I want to leave you with here today, and I hope that you enjoy that reading. I am still plugging my $5 readings. Just hit me up below with my email and everything. Let me know your info and everything. And everything and everything and everything. That's how I end everything. Like saying everything and everything. All right, bye and everything.